What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Launchpad 1412. Got some Mario Kart gameplay here for you guys. And we're going to have some fun, man. We're going to have some fun with this Mario Kart gameplay. One of my favorite games of all time. I want to say possibly on the low, maybe my favorite game. I don't know. I don't know if I can say my favorite game of all time. But speaking of favorite games, someone asked me the other day, what is the best game? What is the greatest game ever created? And I'm saying, man, I was like, man, what are you trying to do? But people love to ask me questions like this, and you guys can feel free to ask me any question you want to. I mean, I'll find a way to answer it, through some type of video while I sit in my chair or something like that, whatever. And I'm just like, man, I don't even know how to answer that question. The greatest video game of all time. I was asked this once. And you want my 100% honest opinion? I honestly think, for me, everybody's opinion is different. For me, it's between two games: Super Mario World. Now, not my favorite game, but the greatest game of all time. I would say Super Mario World on the Super NES, and I'd probably say, this might sound a little bit not crazy, I don't know how it's gonna sound, but maybe a little contradictory a little bit, but I'd probably say Mario Brothers 3. And here are my reasons for it. I think it's safe to say, and I know there are two Mario games. You got Link, you got Sonic, you got Street Fighter, you got Batman games that are awesome, you got Mario Kart, there's so many games that you can choose, but I think that those are birds in a way. Look at the birds. Yeah, I think that it's Super Mario World because he took the gift though. Because of the creativity in the game, as far as the reason why I say Mario Kart. Okay, I'm gonna start with why I say Mario Kart 3 first. I don't know if you remember this movie called Wizard. When Mario Kart 3 came out, it was such a huge deal. I mean, Mario Kart 3 was a big deal, and I'm talking about huge, man. It was so huge. One of the codes was put in a video game. In a movie called Wizard. People saw the code. They figured out how you can. I believe it was the code to show you how you get the whistle to go to different stages in the board. And everybody and their mom was using that code. I remember even using the code. It was just such a big deal. And at the time, the creativity that the game brought, and it showed a different way to play a game, as far as how to create stages and how to go from stage to stage, and just little bits of creativity just made it so grand. It was just, oh man, why did I let that go? Like this is the little things, like Mario having the oops, oh no, nice for the boost. Stop talking, because I'm trying to see if I can win this race. Oh no, look at this. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god, I can't believe I finished 6. I was at first for a minute too. But yeah, just a little bits of creativity in the game. As far as how you get from board to board, and when you get to the board, the way the different stages look. Like I remember one of the boards that stand out to me, I think it was the fourth world, when everything was huge. I just remember when I played that game, and I couldn't wait to get to that part. That's because of how unique it was for its time. For its time, I would say it would be that game was, for a long time, I felt like that was the best game until Super Mario World came out. Super Mario World was so different, so unique in its own special way. So many different things that you can do, so many different ways you can go from board to board, so many secrets, so many things that were stats. Like there was places you can go that you can just get a whole bunch of lives. You can stack up on lives in a fun way. I don't think we've ever seen that in a game before. It was just it's funny how somebody can do something great, like Super Mario Bros. 3, and then something like Super Mario Bros. World could come along and they just do it better. My final answer, I'll say Super Mario World. And I know it's a little bit of a stretch to just pick one game, but if I had to pick one game that was I'm talking about the greatest video game of all time, which is an extremely hard question, I'll go with Super Mario World. I know some of y'all are like, man, I thought you said Batman was your #1 favorite fictional character of all time. It still is. Ooh, somebody smacked me. Wow, look at that. Look at that. 3 green shells in a row coming out of nowhere. That's probably the dude that threw it. That's probably why he got hit. But yeah, you know, Batman's still my favorite fictional character of all time. And you know, Nightwing is awesome. And now, there's a lot of games you got. You got Ninja Turtles too. Some of my favorites personally. Some of my favorite videos. Wow, I stood right there and just took that. Some of my favorite video games of all time, for me personally, is Super Mario. Not Super Mario World, but Super Mario Brothers for the NES. Super Mario Brothers 3, of course, like I just said. Super Mario World, Super Mario All Stars, Mario Kart 8 right here. One of my favorite games of all time. Mario Kart on the 64, Mario 64. That was an awesome game. 007 on the 64. Tiny Toon Adventures on the Sega. Battletoads Double Dragon. One of my absolute favorites of all time. I would say all the Street Fighters, but one of my favorites on the top. Oh wow! As soon as I crossed him, he got me. One of my favorites, like that, I think everyone loved, but I don't know if they loved it more than I did, and that was Ninja Turtles, man. I loved me some Ninja Turtles. Oh my goodness, man. Favorite game of all time. I'm telling you. I used to love playing that game. I remember we went to Sportsland when I was 12. And everybody was playing Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I think it was Annihilation or Ultimate one at the time. I can't remember which one it was. But me, man, oh, look at this. This guy got 3 of them things, though. Dang, I had to fall back because he had 3 of them things. My goodness. All right, we're going to do one more race, then we're going to wrap this video up. But yeah, everybody's playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Me, I was the only one playing Turtles in Time on the arcade, man. Trying to get other kids to come play with me. But kids, they want to play. My cousin, they want to play. Other kids, they want to play. So it was just me by myself. I was like, all right, I'll just play by myself, man. I had a lot of fun, man, just sitting there just playing that game. I remember we had Turtles of Hyperstone for Sega, another one of my favorite games. And that game right there, man, we beat that game so many times. I remember when the first time I played with my uncle. This is like one of the very first times I played it on Sega. And me and my uncle was playing, and I kept taking the pizzas. I didn't think he knew anything about it, you know, because he kind of wasn't going for him a little bit, you know. And I kind of noticed that, so I was like, all right, since he won't take him, I'll take him. He said, yo, man, he's up on them pizzas. It was so funny, man. I was just taking. It was like 4 pizzas. It was like 4 pizzas in a row that I just took, man. It was just nuts. Oh my goodness, man! I think we just ran it. We just did this board, but yeah, it was fun, man. You know, my uncle, he doesn't really get a good rap. My one uncle, but I mean, he was pretty cool in his own unique way to me, because don't get me wrong, you know. Oh wow, he took that hit and kept going though. OG style, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, he had his faults. You know, I remember when he used to get in my older cousins' faces, and his kids, you know, in their faces, and the way he used to talk to them, man, you know, it definitely didn't make you feel comfortable. But in his own right, you know, he was the guy that introduced me to Sylvester Stallone. Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, some of my favorite, like Jackie Chan. This guy, two things that he loved doing: playing fighting games and watching fighting movies, like action movies. He loved it. Every time he turned around, it was a Sylvester Stallone, it was Rambo on, Commando, or a Van Damme movie. That's all it was. And to this day, when I flip through Showtime sometimes, which is very rare these days, and I see Van Damme on, I'll stop and watch it. It don't matter what time of the day it is. I'll stop and watch it, and that's because my uncle, he used to watch it all the time, and he got me hooked. Man. Yeah, he got me hooked, man. Predator, all that. I used to watch all that because of him. And when I see movies like the Expendables, and I see all them guys, you got Jet Li. Jet Li was a little bit later on, but you got Wesley Snipes. He did his thing. Sylvester Stallone, and when you get all these guys, that's in there. When I first saw the first Expendables trailer, I was hyped to see it. I was like, dang. Then the next one had Harrison Ford, the Indiana Jones, the guy. I was like, man, this is insane. I couldn't believe it. I'm trying to figure out how to aim this shell at this fool. But yeah, it was just crazy, man. I couldn't believe it. I got him on that by luck, but I got him. Yeah, man, had a really good time. But before I go, I remember when I used to watch it around that time when I was younger. I remember watching Tales from the Crypt. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but it's like a scary show. And I remember I watched with my older cousins. Then they used to always they used to always put the covers over me when the sexual and really really scary parts would come. Mainly the sexual parts, because they used to let me watch the scary parts, so it could scare the mess out of me and give me nightmares at night. I used to chill my older cousins a lot, man, when I was younger. Really really missed that. Hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Hope you guys enjoyed me talking. I don't know if you did. If you did, thumbs up. And if you got a topic you want me to talk about, the best this or the best that, I kind of like to talk about nostalgic topics a little bit. We'll get in.